So today I want to share some important updates to the rules in the U10 and U12 division for Region 1. These rule changes came from U.S. Soccer's new player development initiatives, and they'll be taking place across the country in both club and AYSO games. Let's have next slide. Yeah. So there's two important changes that'll affect, it says U9 through U12 matches, but in our case just U10 and U12. The one that applies to both of those is goalkeeper punts are no longer allowed in both U10 and U12. U10 will have the additional situation that there will be a build-out line added to the field to promote play out of the back of the field, and that will affect both offside and goal kicks and goalkeeper possession, and we'll go through each of those in some detail. So for goalkeeper punts, the goalkeeper can no longer punt. They can't drop kick the ball down the field. They can't bounce the ball on the field and kick it while it's in the air. Instead, they must pass the ball to an opponent with their hands, to a teammate, ideally a teammate with their hands, or roll it to a teammate, or they can place it on the ground and they can kick it to a teammate on the ground. And as always, according to the laws of the game, while they have the ball in their hands, they cannot be challenged. But once they place the ball on the ground and play it to a teammate, then they can be challenged. So the other change is the addition to a build-out line. This will be only in U10. There will be a line that's halfway between the penalty area and the halfway line. And it will apply in three situations: one when the goalkeeper has possession, when there's a goal kick, and when there's offside. And I think we have a drawing that shows where those are. Yeah, so there's the blue line that's the new build-out line, and there will be one on each side of the field. In Redwood City, that build-out line will be represented by a set of plastic dots that sticks fairly well to the artificial turf, but it won't be as obvious as the halfway line or the penalty line. It looks like maybe someone left some cones on the field. But if you're the assistant referee, which is who it will matter to, you should be able to see the dots if you look at them from the beginning. So let's talk about their use. So basically, the goalkeeper can't punt the ball down the field. He or she has to put the ball into play and is supposed to attempt to pass the ball to a teammate on their own side of the build-out line. Now, in order to enable that with a little less pressure, opponents are required to be on the other side of the build-out line. So once the goalkeeper gains possession of the ball, the other team must retreat behind the build-out line. And the goalkeeper can wait until that happens before they try to put the ball into play or before they have to be releasing the ball from their hands. So this diagram shows the build-out lines and the referee, and it shows the goalkeeper holding the ball on the left side of the field. So the goalkeeper cannot punt the ball down the field, and the goalkeeper must attempt to play the ball to player 2 or player 3 because they're on the goalkeeper's side of the build-out line. And once the goalkeeper releases the ball from play, releases the ball from his hands, then the opponents, just the blue opponents could cross the build-out line and start challenging for the ball. So if the goalkeeper does punt the ball, I didn't mention that, if the goalkeeper does punt the ball down the field, the penalty is an indirect free kick given to the other team from the location where the goalkeeper punted the ball. And that's a big change. But that's one we want to enforce from day one because we want the kids to learn this, and it's an easy thing to correct. If we start with it, then they'll know the whole season that they can't do the punts. On the other hand, the goalkeeper is required to play the ball to a teammate on their own side of the build-out line. On this one, we want to be much more liberal. We want to just advise them that they're supposed to play the ball to someone on their own side, and the coaches should work with them for that. If the coach is encouraging them to play it to someone who's beyond the build-out line, then make a note of it on the game card, but don't worry about enforcing it during the game. So goalkeeper punts, absolutely stop and award an indirect free kick. Playing the ball to a teammate that's beyond the build-out line, just encourage the players to do the right thing. So the other thing that the build-out line affects is offside. So since we're playing with smaller fields now, U.S. Soccer wanted to allow more room to develop the attack without worrying about offside. And so the build-out line will replace the halfway line in terms of the offside position. So let's look at a diagram of that. So again, the goalkeeper's team on the left has the ball, and they've played it out to player number 3, and they're now attacking. So ordinarily, there are three positions we worry about for offside: the position of the ball, the position of the second to last opponent, which the goalkeeper would be one, and one of the blue players would be the second to last opponent. And then the halfway line would ordinarily be the third condition for offside. So normally in this situation, the assistant referee would line up with the blue players because that's the line that's closest to the goal line. But with the build-out line, the assistant referee never moves past the build-out line. They stay between the goal line and the build-out line. And so in this diagram, as we see, player number 9 is in an offside position because they are beyond the build-out line. However, player number 7, who ordinarily would be in an offside position, no longer is, because the halfway line is now been replaced with the build-out line. Thankfully for us as assistant referees, the mechanics are unchanged. If we stand in the right position, players to our right, player number 9, for example, in the figure, are in an offside position, and players to our left are onside. So as long as we remember to track with the ball and to track with the second to last opponent and to stop at the build-out line, we can do the same offside mechanics that we've always done. So lots of people are going to be confused in things, and so just in general, look at yourselves as teachers, instructing people on how to play with the new rules, and help out. Don't focus on strict enforcement of rules, but do enforce the goalkeeper punt restriction. And that's all we're going to say for now. If you want a substantially larger number of slides, you can look at the URLs that are on the screen now. I also did not talk about the changes to the laws of the game in this session. There have been several. You should look at the laws of the game changes at the ifab.com. And always our region's website is ayso1.org. Thank you very much. See you on the pitch.